Chapter 591 Yi Xiao, are you here to join in the fun too? System. Use the spy function once more and find out where Xiong Tianba is now. After knowing this situation, Yi Feng also gave the system an order with expectation. Ding. Consume the spy function once. Xiong Tianba is currently eating breakfast at Hongxiang Restaurant. Prepare to go to the assessment site in a while. As Yi Feng's voice fell, the system's voice rang in his mind. Eating breakfast? Should I go to contact him now or during the assessment? Also, how can I make him eat the 100,000 Tianyan secret art enlightenment pills? After learning the other party's location from the system, Yi Feng also lowered his head and pondered. Hongxiang Restaurant. Hey! Who are you? Who told you to sit here? Finding a strange young man sitting at his table, Xiong Tianba also questioned with displeasure. Bang! Yi Feng did not answer Xiong Tianba's words, but directly slapped a fairy ring on the table, and then said calmly, "The thing's in here, buy a seat at this table." Huh? Buy a seat at my table? Hearing Yi Feng's words, Xiong Tianba couldn't help laughing, and then he took the fairy ring on the table with a playful look and said, "Boy, I tell you, no matter what is in this fairy ring, I will not sell this seat, because I like to enjoy the food quietly alone, and, you know who I am, do you really think I need your little money?" Speaking of this, Xiong Tianba suddenly stopped, and his face showed an incredible look. Top-level golden Tongtian tablet, and it's 10 pieces. Who is this guy? He actually used 10 top-level golden Tongtian tablets to buy a seat. At this time, looking at the 10 golden Tongtian tablets in the fairy ring, Xiong Tianba was also shocked and exclaimed in his heart. Don't sell it? Then give me the fairy ring back, I'll try someone else. Looking at Xiong Tianba's shocked look, Yi Feng said this with a little regret, and then stretched out his hand to take back the fairy ring. Brother! I was just joking. I'll sell this table. After all, a child from a poor family like me must not miss any opportunity to make money. Seeing Yi Feng preparing to take back the fairy ring, Xiong Tianba also responded quickly. A moment later. Young Master Yi. You came to Tianji City to participate in the disciple recruiting conference held by Tianji Pavilion? After drinking a few glasses, Xiong Tianba looked at Yi Feng and asked. No. I just came here to join in the fun. Hearing Xiong Tianba's question, Yi Feng shook his head and then explained. Yeah. Young Master Yi, are you here to join in the fun too? What a coincidence. I'm here to join in the fun, but I've already signed up because I want to experience it myself. Hearing Yi Feng's words, Xiong Tianba laughed and told him about his situation. Really? What if you succeed in practicing the Tianyan secret technique? You know, the Tianji Pavilion has its own rules. As long as you participate in the assessment and succeed in practicing, you must join the Tianji Pavilion. After hearing this, Yi Feng also looked at Xiong Tianba and asked curiously. Young Master Yi. You don't know this. I like to join in the fun the most in my life. No matter whether it is the 9 immortal realms or the 4 edge continents, as long as I catch up with any force recruiting disciples, I will go to join in the fun. But I still haven't joined any force now. Do you know why? Hearing Yi Feng's question, Xiong Tianba also asked mysteriously. Some people are keen on practicing. Some people are keen on fighting. Some people are keen on bragging. Some people are keen on swindling. So you are keen on participating in the disciple recruitment conferences of various forces? Hearing Xiong Tianba's words, Yi Feng also showed a touch of surprise, because he really didn't know about the other party's not-so-serious hobby. Brother Xiong. Then why haven't you joined any force yet? With curiosity, Yi Feng also looked at Xiong Tianba and asked. Because I'm stupid. No matter my own qualifications or understanding, compared with other immortals, it is absolutely low to an outrageous degree. So, with my own conditions, it is impossible for me to successfully practice the Tianyan secret technique. Moreover, even if I really succeed in practicing the Tianyan secret technique, I'm afraid that the results of my 10 years of hard work are not as good as others' 1 month of practice. Do you think that Tianji Pavilion will accept a useless person like me? Seeing Yifeng's curious look, Xiong Tianba also told his situation. Fuck. It turns out to be this reason. But it should be said that Xiong Tianba still has a very clear understanding of himself. After hearing Xiong Tianba's explanation, Yifeng also revealed a look of relief. Brother Xiong. Hearing what you said, I have the idea of participating in the assessment myself. After all, my aptitude and understanding are extremely poor. Having said this, Yifeng stood up and left his seat, then looked at Xiong Tianba and said, Brother Xiong, I will go and sign up first, and see you at the disciple recruiting conference. You are also a loser? What's the matter? Do you want to compete with me at the disciple recruiting conference? Seeing Yifeng leave the restaurant, Xiong Tianba's face also showed a hint of expectation. After all, for hundreds of years, he has never lost in the aspect of useless people. Tianji Pavilion, Mingyue Pavilion. This familiar space crack, could it be that Master Yi is here? Seeing the space crack that suddenly appeared in the hall, Du Yang also muttered to himself with expectation. After all, the last time Yifeng came to him to do something, he left him a full 1,000,000 pieces of karma stones before leaving. Elder Du. I haven't seen you for many days, how are you? Just when Du Yang was full of expectation, Yifeng's voice came out from the space crack first. Master Yi. It's really you. Seeing Yifeng, who looked like a spring breeze, walked out of the space crack, Du Yang also greeted him excitedly. A moment later. Young Master Yi, are you going to attend the disciple recruiting conference held by our Tianji Pavilion today? And you want to do something in the assessment? After knowing the purpose of Yifeng's visit, Du Yang frowned slightly, and then explained, Young Master Yi, it's not that I don't want to help, but the main thing is that this disciple recruiting conference is personally in charge of the Grand Elder, and what I say may not work. Chapter 592 Even if it's the little witch's face, I still won't give it. Oh. Then whose words are effective? Hearing Du Yang's words, Yifeng also asked, casually. Young Master Yi. The white-haired strong man who came with you at the beginning, he seemed to call you my master. Then do you know a cute little girl eating a lollipop? Hearing Yifeng's words, Du Yang also asked out loud. Huh? A cute little girl eating a lollipop? Are you talking about Xiaotang? Hearing Du Yang's words, Yi Xiaotang's figure instantly appeared in Yifeng's mind. Ah, yes. It's Master Xiaotang. She is good at talking. As long as she is involved, let alone making some small moves during the assessment, even if you want to operate in secret, our Tianji Pavilion's Supreme Elder who insists on fairness and justice in everything will have to break the principle to help you do it. Hearing Yifeng directly say the name Xiaotang, Du Yang's eyes also flashed with fear, and then hurriedly spoke out. What the hell? Why is Yi Xiaotang so good at talking? Hearing Du Yang's words, Yifeng also revealed a hint of surprise, and then hurriedly asked, Elder Du, why does Xiaotang's words work? Because Lord Xiaotang really beats me. Before you came to me for help, Saint Luo of Xinghuan Holy Land brought her here and stayed in our Tianji Pavilion for one night. As a result, that night, Lord Xiaotang was a little bored and beat up the 12 Supreme Elders of our Tianji Pavilion, especially the Great Supreme Elder, who was beaten so badly. Hearing Yifeng's question, Du Yang also hurriedly explained. Hey! Xiaotang is still so naughty. After learning the reason, Yifeng also smiled helplessly, and then directly said to the system, let Xiaotang come over. After a while. My lord. What do you want me to do? When Yi Xiaotang walked out of the space crack, he knelt on one knee towards Yifeng, and then asked respectfully. Xiaotang. Go and discuss something with the Grand Elder of Tianji Pavilion. I want to recruit a disciple in the next. Before Yi Feng finished speaking, Du Yang on the side thought of something, and then interrupted Yi Feng and said, Young Master Yi, how about I go and discuss this matter with the Grand Elder first? If it doesn't work, how about letting Master Xiaotang take action? You want to trick him? When Yi Feng heard Du Yang's words, he was stunned at first, then he guessed something, and a playful look appeared on his face. Young Master Yi. To be honest, when you left, didn't you give me the 1 million karma stone? As a result, before I could show off, it was snatched away by the 12 Supreme Elders headed by the Supreme Elder. It would be fine if they snatched it away, but they also beat me up. So, I feel bad if I don't trick them. Seeing that Yi Feng guessed his little thoughts at once, Du Yang immediately explained. The Supreme Elder, the 11th and 12th Supreme Elders beat you up, why do you want me to take the blame for them? And what do you mean by snatching? Didn't you let us call you Brother Yang, and then you gave us 100,000 karma stones each? Is that so? Then go and discuss it with the Supreme Elder first. If the other party disagrees, I'll let Xiaotang go. After knowing the reason, Yi Feng also agreed with a smile. Tianxian Tower. Du Yang. Why are you here? Seeing Du Yang's sudden arrival, the Great Elder asked with a puzzled look on his face. Great Elder. I want to discuss something with you. I have a friend who will attend the disciple recruiting conference we are holding today, and during the assessment, he may do something small, so I hope that the Great Elder can turn a blind eye to it for my sake. Hearing the Great Elder's question, Du Yang also stated the purpose of his visit directly. For your sake, help your friend get through the back door? Du Yang, you have known me for the first day, do you think I will agree to this? I tell you, this kind of thing that goes against my own principles, let alone your face, even if it is the face of that little witch, I will not give it. After hearing Du Yang's words, the Supreme Elder also expressed his attitude very firmly. The Supreme Elder. Don't be so deadly. If that little witch really comes, I don't believe you dare not give her face. Looking at the serious face of the Supreme Elder, Du Yang also curled his lips, and then directly reminded him. Ha ha ha. Hearing Du Yang's words, the Supreme Elder couldn't help laughing, and then said, why don't you dare to say it, not to mention that the little witch will not come to interfere in this matter at all, even if she really comes to interfere, I will smile slightly and will never panic. Hey! Hearing this, Du Yang sighed helplessly, and then shouted directly, Master Xiaotang, take over, I can't do this. Hee hee. Then leave this to me. And you, go out and wait now, otherwise, I'm afraid you will see the next scene and have nightmares at night. As Du Yang's voice fell, a laugh instantly resounded throughout the Shantian Tower. Fuck. Du Yang, you bastard, dare to cheat me. Hearing this familiar voice, the body of the Supreme Elder also trembled violently, and then he cursed at Du Yang with anger. He never thought that Du Yang could do such a shitty thing. Hee hee. Old man, don't say I didn't give you a chance. Either you play with me, or you call the other 11 old men to play with me. And I suggest you choose the second one, otherwise, I'm afraid you might be killed by me if you're alone. At this time, Yi Xiaotang also walked out of the space crack, and then looked at the Grand Elder with a smile and said 2 choices. Du Yang. You little bastard, do you really think you can control me like this? Then you really underestimated me. After hearing the 2 choices given by Yi Xiaotang, and looking at Du Yang who left with a smug look, the Grand Elder also breathed a sigh of relief, and then looked directly at Yi Xiaotang and said respectfully, Master Xiaotang, it is our honor to play with you, and in order to express our respect for you in the Tianji Pavilion, I plan to let the 12 Grand Elders and 12 Elders of the Tianji Pavilion come to play with you. Chapter 593 Du Yang, come with me to take charge of the Disciple Recruiting Conference. Hearing the words of the Grand Elder, even Yi Xiaotang showed a touch of surprise. She didn't expect that the other party could do things to such an extent in order to drag Du Yang into the water. On the other side, young Master Yi. The Grand Elder really doesn't give me any face at all. In the end, there was no choice but to let Lord Xiaotang take action. Next, we just need to wait here. After returning to Mingyue Pavilion, Du Yang also looked at Yi Feng and explained the situation. Wait. Shouldn't I be the one waiting? After hearing Du Yang's words, Yi Feng also revealed a hint of doubt, and then said, Du Yang, are you mistaken? Shouldn't I be the one waiting here? Young Master Yi, what do you mean by this? Then where should I go? Hearing Yi Feng's strange words, Du Yang also asked back with a confused look. Xiaotang contacted me just now. She said that in order to show respect to her, the Grand Elder of your Tianji Pavilion is going to call the other 11 Grand Elders and your 12 Elders to play with her for a while. Didn't you receive the message? Finding that Du Yang seemed to know nothing, Yi Feng also explained. Everyone is going to play with Lord Xiaotang? The Grand Elder actually did such a thing to drag me down? After hearing Yi Feng's explanation, Du Yang was completely dumbfounded. He never thought that the Grand Elder would play such a trick. All right. I won't wait here anymore. I'll go back to Tianji City first. Seeing Du Yang completely stunned, Yi Feng seemed to have guessed something, and then he said this with a smile, and then activated a designated space portal. Just as he was about to enter the space portal, he suddenly thought of something, and looked directly at Du Yang and reminded him, by the way, I remind you that it is best not to be responsible for today's disciple recruiting conference, otherwise you will be very uncomfortable. Huh? Seeing Yi Feng leaving, and thinking back to Yi Feng's reminder just now, Du Yang made a decision in his heart, that is, no matter what, he must not go to Tianji City to be responsible for this disciple recruiting conference. Half an hour later. Inside Tianxian Tower. What? We were called here and beaten up for no reason, just to drag Du Yang into this? Did Du Yang bring this little witch here? Everything we suffered was actually caused by Du Yang? When Yi Xiaotang had enough fun and left, the Grand Elder also explained the situation to everyone, and then the 11 Grand Elders and the 11 Elders all looked at Du Yang with eyes that wanted to kill him. Fuck. Why are you all looking at me like that? I admit that this matter has something to do with me, but I didn't expect that the Great Elder would drag you all into this in order to get back at me. Seeing that everyone was looking at him with a look of wanting to kill him, Du Yang also explained in a very uneasy voice. Wait a minute. I have explained it so clearly, why do you still want to surround me? Go surround the Great Elder. At this time, seeing that everyone ignored his explanation and directly surrounded him, Du Yang also shouted in panic. Because he is the Great Elder. It is not easy for us to attack him. Hearing Du Yang's question, everyone gave the same answer in unison. Just because he is the Great Elder, you dare not attack him? Then I am the successor of the Great Elder, and you dare to attack me? You don't take me seriously, seriously? Hearing what everyone said, Du Yang also complained wildly in his heart. But after complaining, Du Yang still squatted down obediently, and then protected his head with his arms. He now had only one extravagant wish, that is, the angry people must not hit him in the face. A moment later. Du Yang. Wait a minute. When everyone vented their anger on Du Yang, the Grand Elder suddenly kept Du Yang, who was also about to leave. Grand Elder. I cheated you once, and you cheated me several times, so it's even, right? Anything else? At this time, Du Yang also looked at the Great Elder and asked. It's almost time. You will go with me to take charge of the disciple recruiting conference held in Tianji City today. Hearing Du Yang's question, the Great Elder also expressed his thoughts. Go with you to take charge of the disciple recruiting conference? This is not to cheat me to death. You feel uncomfortable, right? After hearing the words of the great elder, Du Yang panicked directly. After all, Yi Feng had reminded him before. No. I won't go even if you kill me. You can ask anyone to go for this matter, but I won't go anyway. Besides, I was beaten up just now, and now I have to go back to recuperate. After recovering, Du Yang also said his decision with a firm expression. Huh? Where's the Grand Elder? At this moment, Du Yang found that the Grand Elder opposite him suddenly disappeared from the spot, which made him look uneasy. Bang! With a muffled sound, Du Yang's eyes went black and he fainted on the ground. I'm not informing you. I'm not discussing with you. Looking at Du Yang who fell unconscious, the great elder silently put away his palm knife, then a playful smile appeared on his lips and he muttered to himself, my little witch's master is going to participate in the disciple recruiting conference. Who knows what will happen at that time? I will be nervous if I don't find someone to take the blame. Tianji City. At this time, more than 10,000 people have gathered in front of the Tianji building, and then they are waiting for the person in charge of this disciple recruiting conference. Young Master Yi. This time we are recruiting outer disciples. I feel that one of the 12 elders of the Tianji pavilion is enough, and 2 is definitely the limit. In the crowd, Xiong Tianba also showed a touch of confidence and expressed his guess. Brother Xiong. Do you dare to make a bet with me? I think the person in charge of this disciple recruiting conference is likely to be one of the 12 great elders. Hearing Xiong Tianba's words, Yi Feng rolled his eyes and looked at the other party to make a bet. Huh. This bet is quite interesting. However, I won't play ordinary bets. How about we talk about rewards and penalties first? If it interests me, I'll agree to the bet. Hearing the bet proposed by Yi Feng, Xiong Tianba also showed a hint of interest, but for safety reasons, he still wanted to understand the rewards and penalties before making a final decision. Chapter 594, Are you here for the test, or are you here to be the boss? If I win, you will help me eat something. If I lose, I will give you 1,000 top-grade golden Tong Tian tablets with different magical powers. How do you feel about this reward and punishment? Seeing Xiong Tianba take the bait, Yi Feng also briefly explained the situation of the bet. Hearing the reward mentioned by Yi Feng later, Xiong Tianba's eyes suddenly lit up. After all, he couldn't imagine how much the value of 1,000 golden Tong Tian tablets with different magical powers could reach. Because that was far beyond his cognition. Young Master Yi. If you win, what will you let me eat at that time? Can you remind me first? However, Xiong Tianba did not lose his mind because of the 1,000 golden Tong Tian tablets, but looked at Yi Feng seriously and asked. A kind of elixir. But you don't have to worry, it's not a poisonous pill, but a kind of elixir that has no harm to you, but has huge benefits. How about it, do you want to bet? After explaining, Yi Feng looked at Xiong Tianba and asked again. Let's bet. After a few seconds of silence, Xiong Tianba gritted his teeth and made a decision. Half an hour later. Everyone. I am the Grand Elder of the Tianji Pavilion, and the one on my body is Elder Du, one of the 12 elders of the Tianji Pavilion. Today's disciple recruiting conference will be held by the 2 of us. When the Grand Elder appeared above the crowd carrying the unconscious Du Yang, he looked at everyone with a smile and said loudly. Fuck. No way, you can guess this. When Xiong Tianba and the crowd heard this, his face also showed a touch of shock. He never thought that it was just a disciple recruiting conference to recruit outer pavilion disciples, but it could alarm the big and small kings of the Tianji pavilion. Brother Xiong. Now it seems that I have won our bet. At this time, Yi Feng also looked at Xiong Tianba on the side and said with a smile, and at the same time handed a fairy ring containing 100,000 Tianyan secret art enlightenment pills to Xiong Tianba. 100,000 pills? Are you trying to eat me to death? When Xiong Tianba took the fairy ring and checked the situation inside, he was extremely shocked. He thought he just needed to take a few pills, but he really didn't expect that Yi Feng would ask him to take 100,000 pills. He even wanted to ask Yi Feng, a full 100,000 pills, are these for people to eat? Even if they are for dogs, dogs can't eat them. Huh. After a long breath, Xiong Tianba looked at Yi Feng with a bitter smile and said, Young Master Yi, I, Xiong Tianba, am willing to accept the loss and will definitely take the pills I should take. However, aren't the number of pills you gave me a bit too much? I'm afraid I can't finish them even if I eat them to death. Brother Xiong. Don't worry about that. This pill doesn't take up space in your stomach. Every time you take one, the power of the pill will be absorbed by your body immediately, and you won't feel full. So, eat it boldly, you won't die from it. Hearing Xiong Tianba's words, Yi Feng also smiled and explained. Swish. 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 At this moment, white light suddenly burst out from the Tianji building, and soon, everyone standing outside had a white number plate with a number on it. Everyone listen up. The 500 assessment rooms in the Tianji building have been prepared. There is an examiner in each assessment room. At that time, the examiner will guide you to practice the first level of the Tianyan secret art. If you fail to practice successfully within half an incense stick of time, you will be directly disqualified from the assessment. Now, those holding number plates from 1 to 500 will immediately enter the Tianji building and enter the assessment room with the same number in your hand. Soon, a majestic voice sounded from the Tianji building. At this time, Yi Feng and Xiong Tianba discovered that the Grand Elder and Du Yang had already disappeared in the air and entered the Tianji tower in advance. Fuck. I am number one. For hundreds of years, I have participated in countless disciple recruitment conferences, but this is the first time I have drawn the number one card. I don't know why, not only do I not feel any joy, but I also feel a little uneasy. Looking at the number one card in his hand, Xiong Tianba's face gradually revealed an uneasy look. I'll go. I just want Xiong Tianba to take some pills during the assessment. But now it seems that the Supreme Elder seems to have really done something shady for me. Looking at the number one card in his hand, Yi Feng immediately hid it and did not let Xiong Tianba see it. Tianji Building, Assessment Room Number 1. Fuck. Isn't this fucking bullshit? I said I wouldn't come, but they knocked me out and brought me here? Is this something a human can do? When Du Yang woke up and found himself in the assessment room of Tianji Building, a flash of despair flashed in his eyes. No. I still have a chance. There are 500 test rooms in Tianji Tower. As long as I don't meet Master Yi, I'll be fine. Thinking of this, Du Yang was relieved. He didn't believe that he could pass with a 500% chance. Du Yang. You finally woke up. The disciple recruitment meeting has begun now. And I also violated my own principles and handed the 2 number 1 number plates to Yi Xiao and his friend. I believe they will come soon. You can decide how to let them go when the time comes. After all, as the old saying goes, professional matters should be left to professionals. Seeing Du Yang wake up, the Supreme Elder also spoke directly to Du Yang. It can be said that no matter what happens next, it is Du Yang's business and has nothing to do with him. I'm still looking forward to the 500% chance of not winning. As a result, you directly operated in secret? Hearing what the Supreme Elder said, Du Yang was going crazy. Dong. 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 At this moment, there was a knock on the door, and then Xiong Tianba pushed the door open and walked into the assessment room. Oh my god. Not only am I lucky enough to get the number 1 number plate, but I also caught up with the big and small kings of Tianji Pavilion to be my examiners? Is this kind of luck really something a waste like me can have? Seeing that the two people sitting in the examination room were actually the big and small kings of Tianji Pavilion, Xiong Tianba's face also showed a touch of shock. Dong. 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 Suddenly, the knock on the door sounded again. When Xiong Tianba saw Yi Feng walking in from outside with a number plate, his face also showed a touch of confusion. After all, this kind of number plate, one number only corresponds to one person. Young Master Yi. Did you come to the wrong examination room? This is me. Before Xiong Tianba finished speaking, he saw the big and small kings of Tianji Pavilion running in front of Yi Feng. One put down the rocking chair, and the other rubbed Yi Feng's shoulders very naturally. Seeing such a weird scene, Xiong Tianba was stunned and thought to himself, is he here for the test or to be the boss? Chapter 595. You are the destined person, right? Elder Du. Didn't I remind you? Why did you come anyway, and were carried by the great elder? At this time, Yi Feng also looked at Du Yang, who was massaging his legs, and asked his doubts. Young Master Yi. I don't want to. But the great elder insisted that I come with him. Then I said I didn't come, and he knocked me out and carried me here. I was also very upset. Hearing Yi Feng's question, Du Yang also explained with a face full of grievance. If you don't come, I will bring you here even if you are knocked out? Is this the love-hate relationship between the two of you? Hearing Du Yang's explanation, Yi Feng also revealed a trace of surprise. What's going on? Young Master Yi actually reminded Du Yang not to come here? Does it mean that I will have to suffer some torture when I come here? At this time, the great elder who heard the conversation between the two also revealed a trace of uneasiness on his face. He never thought that it was just a meeting to recruit disciples from the outer pavilion, but so many changes happened. Okay. Don't bother with me anymore. Hurry up and test him. After knowing why Du Yang was here, Yi Feng looked at the Grand Elder and Du Yang and said, Little guy, what's your name? Hearing Yi Feng's words, the Grand Elder looked at Xiong Tianba and asked seriously. Grand Elder. My name is Xiong Tianba. Facing the majestic Grand Elder, Xiong Tianba responded nervously, and at the same time thought uneasily, I have been dominating the various disciple recruitment conferences for hundreds of years, and I am not going to fail this time. What? You are the destined person I want to find this time. Hearing Xiong Tianba say his name, the Grand Elder also exclaimed in shock. Xiong Tianba. Congratulations, you have passed the assessment. From now on, you are an outer disciple of Tianji Pavilion. And don't worry, in less than half a year, no, 3 months, I will promote you step by step to a core disciple of Tianji Pavilion. Then, the great elder began to talk nonsense seriously. It can be said that his operation is simply the ultimate in black box operation. Just saying a name will make you a destined person? Moreover, you have to be promoted from an outer disciple to a core disciple within 3 months. Hearing the decision of the Grand Elder, both Xiong Tianba and Yi Feng were confused. They were not fools and naturally would not believe the ridiculous excuse of predestined person. What's going on? I just came here to join in the fun. I don't really want to join the Tianji Pavilion. If I join the Tianji Pavilion, how can I join in the fun at the disciple recruitment conference held by other forces in the future? If I don't join in the fun, wouldn't it bury my super useless talent? And the most important thing is, I don't want to be a fortune teller. After recovering from his shock, Xiong Tianba was going crazy. He never thought that such a transcendent force as the Tianji Pavilion would actually play a secret operation. At the same time, he was now curious about Yi Feng's identity. Because he knew very well that the current situation was definitely related to Yi Feng. What's going on? I just wanted you to let Xiong Tianba eat some Tianyan secret art enlightenment pills during the assessment. But you guys manipulated him behind the scenes and let him pass the assessment directly? Yi Feng on the other side was also going crazy. After all, His main goal was to spend all the 100,000 Tianyan secret art enlightenment pills. Ahem. Thinking of this, Yi Feng also coughed, and then hurriedly said, Grand Elder, you may have misunderstood what I meant. Let me explain it to you. After a moment. Follow the normal process, just allow Xiong Tianba to take some pills during the assessment. If the other party does not meet the requirements, it is okay if he is not accepted into the Tianji Pavilion. After listening to Yi Feng's explanation, the Grand Elder was going crazy. He never thought that what Yi Feng asked him to do was such a simple thing. If he had known that it was just a small matter, he would have agreed long ago, and there was no need to let the little witch come to discuss with him. Huh. After taking a deep breath, the Grand Elder looked at Xiong Tianba with a serious face and said, Xiong Tianba, I just counted with my fingers and found that you are not the destined person I am looking for. So, if you want to join the Tianji Pavilion, you must pass the assessment. Next, I will teach you the first level of Tianyan secret art. If Yi Xiao protects me, I am the destined person. If Yi Xiao does not protect me, I am not the destined person. You are the destined person, you counted with bitter tea seeds. Hearing the words of the Grand Elder, Xiong Tianba's face was instantly covered with black lines. After half an incense stick. Success. This kid actually succeeded in practicing the Tianyan secret technique. Seeing Xiong Tianba entering the state of practice, both the Grand Elder and Du Yang showed a hint of surprise, but soon, the two of them discovered a fatal problem. Grand Elder. Although Xiong Tianba has successfully cultivated the Tianyan secret art, his aptitude and comprehension seem to be not good enough. Based on the effect of his cultivation, I am afraid that 1 year of cultivation is not as good as 1 month of cultivation for an ordinary outer court disciple. At this time, Du Yang also frowned and expressed his thoughts. Yes. From this point, it can be seen that this Xiong Tianba is simply a useless cultivator. But how did he successfully cultivate the Tianyan secret art? In this case, should we accept him or not? After hearing Du Yang's words, the Grand Elder also said with some entanglement. Grand Elder. Elder Du. After Brother Xiong finishes his cultivation, let him start taking the pills. In order to thank you for helping me, these 2 pills are given to you. At this time, Yi Feng suddenly walked in front of the 2 people and then handed them 2 pills. Young Master Yi. What is this pill? Looking at the crystal clear white pill in his hand, Du Yang looked at Yi Feng with a puzzled look and asked. Tianyan secret art enlightenment pill. After eating it, you can immediately enter the state of enlightenment. In that state, practicing the Tianyan secret art will have unexpected benefits. Hearing Du Yang's question, Yi Feng did not hide anything and directly told him about the Tianyan secret art enlightenment pill. Chapter 596 Master, is this the big deal you were talking about? Hearing Yi Feng's words, the Supreme Elder and Du Yang also showed a touch of shock. After all, they have lived for tens of thousands of years, but they have never heard of such a pill in the world. After recovering from their shock, the two looked at each other and directly ate the Tianyan secret art enlightenment pill in their hands. Boom! Boom! Soon, a breath of enlightenment burst out from the two of them, and what shocked the two was that in this state of enlightenment, they could still think and move, which was something that was impossible to do during enlightenment. A moment later. Young Master Yi. Do you still have this Tianyan secret art enlightenment pill? No matter how many you have, no matter how much it is worth, we at Tianji Pavilion want it. After the enlightenment, the Grand Elder also excitedly asked Yi Feng. It was no wonder that he was so excited. It could only be blamed on the fact that the power of the Tianyan secret art enlightenment pill was too terrifying. Grand Elder. You should now know how terrifying the power of the Tianyan secret art enlightenment pill is. And such a terrifying pill is naturally extremely rare. Even I only have those 2 left. Hearing the inquiry of the Grand Elder, Yifeng also pretended to be regretful and said in his heart, although this rubbish pill can consume the waste points in the pill fairy pot to open as many as you want, the 2 pills just opened have been given to you. I really don't have any more, so my answer is absolutely correct. Yes, yes, yes. Such a terrifying pill should be extremely rare. And it is our blessing that the 2 of us can own one. We are a little too greedy. Hearing Yifeng's answer, the Grand Elder also said with regret. Stare. At this moment, Xiong Tianba, who was practicing, suddenly opened his eyes, and then a look of confusion appeared on his face. I succeeded in my cultivation? How come I, a useless person, succeeded in cultivating the extremely mysterious Tianyan secret technique? Are you forcing me to embark on a road of no return? After recovering from his shock, Xiong Tianba was about to go crazy. He thought that he was not the destined person anymore and should be able to enjoy the fun of joining in the fun. Who would have thought that he succeeded in his cultivation? Young Master Yi. Xiong Tianba has finished his cultivation. Should we start letting him take the pills? Noticing that Xiong Tianba had finished his cultivation, the Great Elder looked at Yifeng and reminded him. Brother Xiong. Although you have successfully practiced the Tianyan secret art, the fact that the Grand Elder has not announced the result means that the assessment is not over yet. Next, you should start eating up all the pills in the fairy ring. Hearing the Grand Elder's reminder, Yifeng looked at Xiong Tianba not far away and said, while thinking in his heart, I wonder if the Grand Elder and Du Yang will go crazy when they see Brother Xiong eating the Tianyan secret art enlightenment pill like crazy. That little bit? What do you call 100,000 pills that little bit? Hearing this, Xiong Tianba also looked at Yifeng with a wry smile and said, Young Master Yi, that little bit of pills is indeed a bit too much. Although you said that you won't feel full, it also gives people a great sense of oppression. To put it bluntly, even if you let a dog eat it, I'm afraid it will be scared and directly retreat 9,918 steps after seeing it. Hey! Seeing that Xiong Tianba was still under such great psychological pressure, Yifeng sighed helplessly, and then directly said to the system, contact Xiaojian and ask him to send the dog over. Just say that I have something important and need the dog's help. As long as you don't give it to the people of Tianji Pavilion, it should be considered a waste. Then let the dog relive the joy of eating pills. After giving the order, Yifeng's mouth also showed a smile, and then looked at Xiong Tianba and said, Brother Xiong, since you said so, then I will find a dog to help you relieve some pressure. I was just making a metaphor, but you really want to get a dog over? Hearing Yifeng's words, Xiong Tianba was stunned at first, and then a look of relief appeared on his face. After all, whether it is a person or a dog, it is always good to have a helper. Master. Your favorite #1 sword dog in the universe is here. At this moment, as a space crack suddenly appeared, the voice of the little yellow dog came out of the space crack. Dogs can fly swords? And they have comprehended the Huangquan sword intent? When Xiong Tianba saw the little yellow dog lying on the flying sword and crossing his legs and flying out of the space crack, he was stunned. He thought in his heart, is this sword dog coming here to help me relieve pressure or to attack me? Although I am a loser, I am not even as good as a dog. This makes me a little bit unacceptable. Master. I heard from Xiaojian that something big happened here and you need my help. What is it? Flying in front of Yifeng, the lying little yellow dog immediately jumped off the flying sword, and then looked at Yifeng expectantly and asked. It's not a big deal. He just has some pills in his hand, and he may not be able to finish them by himself, so he needs you to help him eat some. Seeing the expectant look in the little yellow dog's eyes, Yifeng also said with a smile. I heard that there was a big thing that needed me, and I was so excited. And now you tell me that the big thing is to eat pills. Hearing Yifeng's words, the little yellow dog was stunned. When it reacted, a look of uneasiness gradually appeared on its face. After all, if others said there was a little, then it was really a little, but if Yifeng said there was a little, then I don't know how much there was. Not to mention that when it was in the lower world, it had experienced several nightmares of eating pills, which had left it with psychological trauma. Brother Xiong, take out all the pills in the fairy ring. Then you and the dog will sit there and eat them, and eat all the pills as soon as possible. Without paying attention to the little yellow dog's situation at this time, Yifeng looked at Xiong Tianba and said, "Okay. Young Master Yi, I'll take them all out and start eating." Hearing Yifeng's words, Xiong Tianba sat on the ground directly, took out the fairy ring, and began to take out the 100,000 Tianyan secret art enlightenment pills inside. Is that Tianyan secret art enlightenment pill? Didn't they say it was extremely rare? Didn't they say it was gone? When the Grand Elder and Duyang saw Xiong Tianba throwing handfuls of Tianyan secret art enlightenment pills on the ground like trash, their eyes almost popped out of their heads. Chapter 597, Brother Go can't finish it, so I asked you to help. Hey! What did I say? The little bit that the master is talking about is definitely not a normal little bit. Seeing the pills piled up in front of Xiong Tianba, the little yellow dog sighed helplessly, and then walked towards the piled pills, resigned to his fate. A moment later. Grand Elder. I can't stand it anymore. Those are powerful pills that can immediately enter the state of enlightenment. But now they are being eaten by a super loser and a dog like Candy Beans. This is simply a waste of money. Seeing that Xiong Tianba and the little yellow dog had eaten thousands of Tianyan secret art enlightenment pills, Duyang was extremely heartbroken and said to the Grand Elder beside him, "Don't say you can't stand it, I can't stand it either. They just eat, but they don't practice the secret art of Tianyan. This is what I can't accept the most. After all, every minute and every second of that state of enlightenment is extremely precious. To put it bluntly, when I saw the dregs of the pills falling from the corners of their mouths on the ground, I couldn't help but want to lick them." After hearing Du Yang's words, the Great Elder also said his feelings at the moment in a somewhat collapsed manner. On the other side, although this pill doesn't give you a sense of fullness, you have to chew it up and swallow it. As a result, I've only eaten more than 2,000 pills, and my mouth is already a little tired. If I continue like this, even with the help of the dog, my mouth can't stand it. Thinking of this, Xiong Tianba looked at the Grand Elder and Duyang not far away, and then an idea came to his mind. "Brother dog. I've only eaten more than 2,000 pills, and my mouth can't stand it. If we really want to eat all 100,000 pills, I'm afraid our mouths will be useless. Otherwise, you go to young Master Yi to discuss and see if you can find 2 more helpers." At this time, Xiong Tianba also looked at the little yellow dog and expressed his thoughts, and his idea was very simple, that is, to drag the Grand Elder and Duyang who were watching the fun on the side into the water. After all, happy things can only be shared, that is the real happiness. Hearing what Xiong Tianba said, the little yellow dog's eyes lit up, and then he grinned and said, "Little bear, it has to be you." Dog, is there something? Seeing the little yellow dog suddenly running over, Yifeng also sat up from the rocking chair, and then asked, curiously, "Master, this broken pill is useless. And the number is a little bit too much, can you find 2 more helpers?" Hearing Yifeng's question, the little yellow dog also said with a cute face, "Swish." The Supreme Elder and Duyang, who were not far away, heard what the little yellow dog said, and they all looked at Yifeng and the little yellow dog fiercely, and their eyes showed a hint of expectation. 2 helpers, isn't this talking about the 2 of them? Once they can eat the Tianyan secret art enlightenment pill, they can practice while eating. Even if they eat 1,000 Tianyan secret art enlightenment pills, they can only maintain the enlightenment state for 10 minutes. They are not at a loss. In their opinion, every second they can earn is a second. Okay. Then find 2 helpers. Who do you want to help you? Hearing the proposal of the little yellow dog, Yifeng also agreed directly, but he was curious about who the little yellow dog was going to pull into the pit. What are those 2 second-rate people doing? Just as the little yellow dog was about to answer Yifeng, he saw the Grand Elder and Du Yang, both of whom were not far away, waving their hands excitedly at it, which made it stunned. Master! I want Brother Mang and Brother Long to come and help me. No longer paying attention to the Grand Elder and Du Yang, the little yellow dog also looked at Yifeng and told him the 2 helpers he wanted to find. Brother Mantis and Brother Dragon? Listening to the names, they are not 2 beasts again, right? We are 2 living people standing here, why do you have to find fairy beasts to help? The Grand Elder and Du Yang, who were not far away, showed a look of confusion on their faces after hearing what the little yellow dog said. The other side. What? The big event that the master is talking about is actually going to eat pills? Hearing Yi Xiaojian's words, the blood-sucking mantis also exclaimed with a change of expression, and there was a hint of fear in its eyes. After all, it had eaten a lot of the marrow-cleansing pills that tasted as bad as shit. Brother Mantis. Why are you so scared? Isn't it just eating some pills? Noticing the terrified look on the blood-sucking mantis's face, the little gun dragon, who knew nothing, also asked in confusion. Brother Long. You have never eaten pills that tasted as bad as shit. Besides, if others say there is a little, then there is really a little, but if the master says there is a little, then I don't know how much. At this point, the blood-sucking mantis also took a deep breath, and then continued, Brother Long, when you experience a pill nightmare in person, you will understand why I am so scared. At this moment, Yi Xiaojian suddenly got some news, and then looked at the 2 beasts with a weird look. Awesome. Little spear dragon. That's a bit too much pills, and Brother Dog probably can't eat them all, so he suggested to my master that you 2 go over and help him eat them together. Then my master agreed. Immediately afterwards, Yi Xiaojian told the 2 beasts the good news. We were just discussing the nightmare of pills. In the end, our good big brother turned around and tricked us? Hearing Yi Xiaojian's words, both the blood-sucking mantis and the little gun dragon were dumbfounded. They never thought that although the sword dog was a dog, he would do things so dog-like. Brother Dog tricked our 2 little brothers. Then as Brother Mantis, should I also follow Brother Dog's pace and trick Brother Dragon? After recovering from his shock, the blood-sucking mantis glanced at the little gun dragon beside him, and a wicked smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. There's something wrong with the handsome smile. What is it going to do? Yi Xiaojian, who noticed this situation, also showed a hint of curiosity on his face. Master. We are here. As a space crack appeared in the number 1 assessment room, the blood-sucking mantis and the little gun dragon also flew out of it, and then shouted to Yifeng excitedly. You already know the situation. Hurry up and help your brother eat the elixir. Seeing the blood-sucking mantis and the little spear dragon flying out, Yifeng also said with a smile. Chapter 598 Brother Mantis, you can't do it either. After a while. Master Yi. Let us join in too. After all, that's a full 100,000 pills. Just 1 person and 3 beasts can't eat them all. Seeing that the little treasure in his eyes was eaten crazily by a super waste and 3 beasts, Du Yang finally couldn't stand the torture and came directly to Yifeng to ask. Wait a minute. I have lived for tens of thousands of years and have never practiced anything with my mouth. Now I have such an opportunity, I also want to fight for it. At this time, the voice of the Supreme Elder also sounded from the side. No. Anyone can help, but you 2 can't. However, after hearing the 2 people's request, Yifeng refused decisively. Anyone can come, but we two can't. Is it because we are not useless enough? Or because we are not beasts? Seeing that Yi Feng rejected their request so decisively, the two were stunned. Young Master Yi. Why not? After recovering, Du Yang also looked at Yi Feng with a puzzled look and asked. First, you are not useless. Second, you are not beasts. Third, if you two eat the Tianyan Secret Art Enlightenment Pill, you will definitely practice the Tianyan Secret Art secretly. Because of these 3 points, you do not meet the conditions of helpers. After all, my main purpose is to ruin the family. If you practice secretly, then I will ruin my family. Hearing Du Yang's question, Yi Feng did not hide it and directly looked at the two of them to explain. Wait a minute. Did I forget something? At this moment, Yi Feng suddenly thought of something, and then looked directly at the Grand Elder and Du Yang and said, although you can't help take the pills, you can help me spur someone on. As long as you do this well, I can give you 1,000 Tianyan Secret Art Enlightenment pills as hard work fee. What? Hearing Yi Feng's words, the two people who were originally full of disappointment instantly became excited, and Du Yang hurriedly asked, Young Master Yi, just tell us what you want, we will definitely help you get it done. It's very simple. No matter what method you two use, you must let Xiong Tianba practice the Tianyan secret art while taking the pills. If the first level is fully practiced, then give him the second level of skills and let him continue to practice. Hearing Du Yang's question, Yi Feng also said what the two needed to do. Force a super loser to practice? After they understood their tasks, the Grand Elder and Du Yang exchanged a look, then smiled playfully and walked towards Xiong Tianba, who was not far away. What are you going to do? Xiong Tianba, who was concentrating on eating the pill, found that the Grand Elder and Du Yang were both standing on his left and right sides holding long swords. For some reason, he felt a little flustered, and then he looked at the two of them with an uneasy look and asked. Don't talk nonsense. Practice the first level of Tianyan secret art immediately, and practice it with extreme concentration. If you dare to be distracted, don't blame me for carving words on you with the long sword in my hand. Hearing Xiong Tianba's question, Du Yang also threatened with a playful look. Hurry up and practice. Otherwise, Du Yang will carve words with the sword, and I'm afraid he won't even let your brothers go. As for taking the pills, leave it to me. I will feed you a pill every few seconds. Then, the Great Elder standing on the other side also said. Are you too crazy? This pill can enter the state of enlightenment after taking it. If I practice the Tianyan secret art, even if I am a waste, I will definitely take off directly. But I don't want to join the Tianju Pavilion, I don't want to be a fortune teller, and I don't want to practice the Tianyan secret art. After hearing what the two said, Xiong Tianba was going crazy. This was simply forcing him to a dead end. Handsome blood, you have something to do too? Seeing the blood-sucking mantis suddenly come in front of him, Yi Feng asked, with some confusion. Master. Do you still have the marrow cleansing pill? Little Spear Dragon was very confused before, why Brother Go and I are so afraid of taking pills, so I wanted to experience it for itself. Hearing Yi Feng's question, the blood-sucking mantis also directly expressed his thoughts. Marrow cleansing pill? It's the marrow cleansing pill that I asked you to eat 100,000 each in the lower realm. Hearing the idea of the blood-sucking mantis, Yi Feng instantly thought of the marrow cleansing pill that tasted worse than shit. System. In the upper realm, is there a pill that tastes similar to the marrow cleansing pill? After thinking of the marrow cleansing pill, Yi Feng immediately asked the system. Ding. The taste of the bone-growing pill in the upper realm is similar to that of the marrow cleansing pill in the lower realm, and it is only about 100 times more unpalatable than the marrow cleansing pill. As Yi Feng finished speaking, the voice of the system rang out in his mind. Only about 100 times more unpalatable than the marrow cleansing pill? How unpalatable would it be? After learning about this situation, Yifeng also showed a touch of shock, and then muttered to himself, "System, I have to say, your use of only is really amazing. Awesome blood. There is no marrow cleansing pill, but I have some bone regeneration pills in my hand, which are only 100 times stronger than the marrow cleansing pill in taste. What do you think of this pill?" Looking at the blood-sucking mantis in front of him, Yifeng also asked with a smile. It's only 100 times stronger than the marrow cleansing pill in taste? That's all? Can it still be eaten? Hearing Yifeng's words, the blood-sucking mantis also showed a touch of shock on its face. Although it wanted to pit the little spear dragon, it didn't want to pit the little spear dragon so badly. Thinking of this, the blood-sucking mantis looked at Yifeng and said quickly, "Master, this bone-growing pill is too strong, why don't you just forget it?" "Brother Mantis. You can't do it either. This rubbish pill is really easy to eat, except that it makes your mouth a little greasy. I really don't know why you are so afraid of taking pills." At this time, the disdainful voice of the little gun dragon came from not far away. "Master Yi. Let the little gun dragon experience the horror of the pill nightmare with this bone-growing pill. If possible, I hope the little gun dragon eats 100,000 pills." Hearing the ridicule of the little gun dragon, the blood-sucking mantis also grinned, and then looked directly at Yifeng and expressed his thoughts. Chapter 599. In order to trick the little gun dragon, all people and fairy beasts were involved. Okay. 100,000 is 100,000. Hearing the proposal of the blood-sucking mantis, Yifeng also smiled and nodded and agreed. Then he suddenly thought of something and looked directly at the blood-sucking mantis and asked, "Dog knows about this?" "Master. Before coming here, I have already told Brother Go about this. And I came to discuss it with you after getting Brother Go's permission." Hearing Yifeng's question, the blood-sucking mantis immediately explained. "Huh? Dog also knows? Then you two are really bad." Knowing that the dog also knew about this, Yifeng also smiled, and then began to consume the prodigal points, allowing the system to frantically open the elixir jar. On the other side. "Hey! Brother Dragon is still too young. You don't understand the dangers of society at all. The purpose of Brother Mantis to find the master is to let it experience the nightmare of elixir, and it dares to laugh at Brother Mantis at this critical moment. Isn't this forcing Brother Mantis to increase the dosage?" Seeing the little gun dragon leisurely eating the Tianyan secret technique enlightenment pill, the little yellow dog also shook his head helplessly. "Soon. Brother Dog. I have discussed it with the master. Although it is not a marrow-cleansing pill, it is a bone-growing pill with a similar taste, and the number is the same as when we were in the lower world, all 100,000. When the blood-sucking mantis returned, it immediately reported the situation to the little yellow dog. The taste is similar? Brother Mantis, this is not good enough. At the worst, it has to be 80% as bad as the marrow-cleansing pill. Otherwise, how can Brother Dragon know the horror of the pill nightmare?" Hearing what the bloodthirsty mantis said, the little yellow dog frowned and expressed his thoughts. "Too small. Brother Dog, your vision is too small. This is the upper realm, so how can the elixir that my brother Long eat is worse than the marrow-cleansing pill? Isn't that looking down on my brother Long? So, the bone-growing pill that the master found is more than 100 times more unpalatable than the marrow-cleansing pill." Hearing the little yellow dog's thoughts, the blood-sucking mantis also laughed and explained. "More than 100 times more unpalatable than the marrow-cleansing pill? Then can you still eat it?" After knowing this situation, even the little yellow dog showed a touch of shock. It couldn't imagine how unpalatable a pill that was 100 times more unpalatable than shit would be. "Brother Mantis. You are a ruthless beast. It's okay if it tastes 100 times worse, but you actually prepared 100,000 for Brother Long. If it can really finish it, then it will fart, and the power will be enough to poison everything. If it farts in succession, the power will be enough to destroy the world? Thinking of that horrible scene, the little yellow dog shuddered. Brother Dog. You are so damn scary. But I think you are right. Otherwise, let's go out and hide tonight, and don't sleep with Brother Long, otherwise I'm afraid we won't see the sun tomorrow. After listening to the little yellow dog's description, the blood-sucking mantis also expressed his thoughts with a horrified face. Right. We have to go out and hide tonight, but we can't let Brother Long sleep alone. After all, he is still a child. Or, let Xiao Jian sleep with Brother Long. Thinking that the little gun dragon is still a child, it is definitely not possible to let a child sleep alone at night, and then the little yellow dog put forward his own idea. Brother Dog. I think your idea is correct. After hearing this, the blood-sucking mantis on the side also said with a face of agreement. When the little gun dragon was enjoying happiness, you guys got on. Then when it came to the time to bear the poison gas, it was my turn? Yi Xiaojian, who was watching the excitement not far away, was dumbfounded after hearing the conversation between the little yellow dog and the blood-sucking mantis. He never thought that this dog and mantis could do such a stupid thing. And now he really wanted to rush over and shout at the dog and mantis, whether the little gun dragon is a child or not has nothing to do with me, why should I sleep with it? Wait a minute. At this moment, Yi Xiaojian suddenly thought of something, and then looked at the Supreme Elder and Du Yang not far away. These two have been trying to help me take the pills. They are even going crazy now. In that case, it doesn't matter who we help, why not let them help the little spear dragon eat some? And I've helped them so much, so when the time comes, I'll ask them to help look after the little spear dragon for a night, they will definitely not refuse. And if the three of them live together, they can play with each other when they have nothing to do. How fun that is. After thinking of a solution, Yi Xiaojian was relieved, and then walked towards the Grand Elder and Du Yang, who were not far away. Yi Feng would never have thought that just letting the little spear dragon eat some pills would actually involve all the people and beasts here, except him. Take the pills, but what does it mean that Xiong Tianba and Xiao Qianlong feed each other the pills in their hands by drinking wine together? Also, what are Guzi and Mengzi plotting together? Wait a minute, when did Xiao Jian run to the side of the Grand Elder and Du Yang, and the three of them gathered together with their arms around each other, what are they doing? When Yi Feng finally opened 100,000 bone-growing pills, he saw the scene in front of him and showed a look of confusion on his face. Then he couldn't help but mutter to himself, what's going on? Why are everyone so busy all of a sudden? Xiao Qianlong. Come here. Although he was full of doubts, Yi Feng didn't think about it anymore, but shouted directly at Xiao Qianlong not far away. Brother Xiong. The master is calling me, I'll go over first. Wait for me here, and when I come back, we'll continue eating together. Hearing Yi Feng's call, Xiao Qianlong also said to Xiong Tianba, and then quickly ran towards Yi Feng. Master. You're looking for me? When he came to Yi Feng, Little Gun Dragon asked curiously. Little Gun Dragon. Don't take the Tianyan Secret Art Enlightenment pill over there anymore. I prepared some other pills for you. Next, just sit here and eat the pills I prepared for you. Hearing Little Gun Dragon's question, Yi Feng also explained with a smile on his face. I just developed some feelings for Brother Xiong. You're going to break us up? Hearing what Yi Feng said, Little Gun Dragon was stunned, and then hurriedly asked, Master, why did you prepare a pill for me alone, and not let me continue to help Brother Xiong eat those pills? Chapter 600. Do you want to help Little Gun Dragon eat together? Because Brother Dog and Brother Mantis want you to experience for yourself what a real nightmare of elixir is. So, they came to me and asked me to help you prepare it. It can be said that your two good brothers really worry about your healthy growth. Hearing the question from Little Spear Dragon, Yifeng also explained. So that's how it is. Then I must not let Brother Dog and Brother Mantis down for their love for me. I must experience this nightmare of elixir. After understanding the reason, Little Spear Dragon also said with expectation. It really wanted to know how terrible the nightmare of the elixir that frightened Brother Dog and Brother Mantis could be. Not far away. My lord has already told Little Spear Dragon. Next, whether you can help Little Spear Dragon eat some elixir depends on your own ability. By the way, after the matter is done, you must not forget to help me take care of Little Spear Dragon tonight. Hearing the conversation between Yifeng and Little Spear Dragon, Yi Xiaojian also knew that the time was ripe, and then hurriedly reminded the Supreme Elder and Du Yang on the side. Master Xiaojian. Don't worry, after the matter is done, we will definitely help you take care of Little Spear Dragon. After hearing what Yi Xiaojian said, the Supreme Elder and Du Yang also answered in unison. Although they didn't know what elixir Yifeng prepared for Little Spear Dragon, the elixir for their own battle pets, could it be a bad elixir? Moreover, none of the things Yifeng took out were ordinary things, so no matter what kind of elixir it was definitely top-notch, and as long as they could eat it, it would be a huge profit. Why did they run over here? Seeing the Grand Elder and Du Yang suddenly running towards him not far away, Yifeng also showed a hint of doubt. Young Master Yi. I heard that you prepared another kind of elixir for the Little Spear Dragon, and it's 100,000 pills? If it eats by itself, I'm afraid it can't finish it even if it vomits. Can you give us a chance? We want to help it eat together. When he came to Yifeng, Du Yang also explained his purpose directly. I understand that you want to eat the Tianyan Secret Art Enlightenment pill. But you also want to rush to eat this bone-growing pill that is 100 times more unpalatable than shit. Is it the dog that cheated, or the fish that cheated, you are so upset? Hearing Du Yang's request, Yifeng was really shocked. He never thought that the two people's belief in helping to eat the elixir was so strong. You two really want to help it eat? After thinking for a moment, Yifeng did not directly refuse, but confirmed it. After all, this bone-growing pill is not an ordinary elixir. However, when the Grand Elder and Du Yang saw that Yifeng did not directly reject them this time, they showed ecstasy on their faces, and then responded excitedly, Young Master Yi, we really want to help it eat. After all, helping animals for fun is the virtue that every immortal should have. Hey! Since you all said so, then help the Little Spear Dragon eat together. However, let me be frank. Since you have decided to help eat, you must help eat to the end. You two and one beast must eat all of these 100,000 pills. After agreeing to the two's request, Yifeng also gave a reminder. Hearing Yifeng's reminder, for some reason, the Grand Elder and Du Yang suddenly felt a little uneasy. The 100,000 bone-growing pills are all in this fairy ring. Take them and eat them aside. After Yifeng handed the fairy ring to the little gun dragon, he asked the two and one beast to eat them aside, and he lay on the rocking chair to rest again. After a while, when the little gun dragon took out all the 100,000 bone-growing pills in the fairy ring, he took the lead and stuffed one into his mouth. Ugh, ugh, ugh. Soon, a vomiting sound came out of the little gun dragon's mouth, and at the same time, its face became extremely ugly. Even when it looked at the pile of bone-growing pills in front of it again, endless fear was revealed in its eyes. At this moment, it finally understood why the little yellow dog and the blood-sucking mantis were so afraid of the nightmare of the pill. But what it wanted to say was, this is not a nightmare of the pill, this is simply a nightmare of extremely stinking, even if it is shit. It is probably not so disgusting. What's going on? It's just a pill, why are you vomiting? Is it because the pill is too delicious, and you are afraid that we will snatch it from you, so you are playing tricks on us? The great elder and Du Yang on the side saw the situation of the little spear dragon, and they also showed a trace of doubt on their faces. Then they looked at each other and took a bone-growing pill and ate it. Ugh, ugh, ugh. After eating it, the two of them immediately retched, and their faces showed an extremely horrified look. They have lived for so long, and they have eaten all kinds of pills, even a lot of unpalatable pills, but this is the first time they have eaten such an unpalatable pill. It is no exaggeration to say that this pill is worse than shit. At this moment, they finally understood what Ji Feng's last reminder meant, but it was too late. For a while, the two people and the beast just stared at the pile of bone-growing pills in front of them, and no one had the courage to break the deadlock and take the second pill first. Hey! You have prepared a new batch of pills. But why don't you eat them? Just then, Xiong Tianba came over, first looked at the pile of pills, then looked at the two people and one beast sitting beside them, and then asked with a puzzled look on his face. Brother Xiong, how about we switch? I'll eat your batch of pills, and you eat this batch of pills? Hearing Xiong Tianba's voice, the two people and one beast suddenly became energetic, and then looked at Xiong Tianba and made the same suggestion. As the words fell, not only Xiong Tianba was stunned, but even the two people and the beast who made this suggestion were stunned. They didn't expect that everyone would think of the same thing. Trample. 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 Xiong Tianba, who had recovered from his shock, took several steps back, looking at the two people and the beast with an extremely vigilant look, and shouted in his heart, "These two people and the beast actually want to exchange pills with me. There must be something fishy here. No, I have to run away." Thinking of this, Xiong Tianba didn't say another word, but turned around and ran towards his own pill pile, fearing that if he was a step slower, these three abnormal guys would run to his territory first. A moment later, Dog and Mang are helping Xiong Tianba take the elixir. The Great Elder and Du Yang are helping Xiao Qianlong take the elixir. Xiao Jian, you are idle anyway, why don't you catch some and help whoever you catch take the elixir? Seeing that everyone was busy, Yifeng also proposed an idea to Yi Xiaojian, who was watching the fun.